Welcome everyone, Dylan Gemelli here today with a brand new video for you, and today I'm going to talk about my experiences with Anavar. But before we get into that, just a big shout out and thank you to everybody out there watching and supporting the channel. I cannot thank you enough. If you haven't yet, please like, sub, share, comment. Any interaction that you have with the channel, it's only helping us to grow, and it's going to allow me to produce more and more content for you each and every day. Now, today's video is sponsored by our friends at letsgetchecked.com. So if you're not familiar, letsgetchecked.com specializes in at-home blood testing. So go to the site, check out all of the tests that they offer. They have them for men and women, full hormonal, wellness, sexual health. The list is a mile long. Pick out what you want, place your order. Coupon code Gemelli30 is going to save you 30% off your entire order. After you place your order, they're going to send you the kit in the mail. You're going to get online, register the kit, provide the sample, ship it back. They're going to give you your results online quickly. The doctors and nurses are there to answer your questions and concerns that you might have about your blood work. So it's fast, easy, reliable, discreet. Letsgetchecked.com. Coupon code Gemelli30 is going to save you 30% off your entire order. All right. So let's talk about my experiences with Anavar. Now, I chuckle because you guys that have followed me know my history with Anavar. I've talked about it several times. I spent, I don't know how many years, 8-9 years, just bashing the shit out of Anavar, just saying every single negative thing that I could possibly say about it. So let us go back into time. One of the first cycles, that I ever ran was just Anavar and Proviron, okay? And I am going against my advice, my guidance about I always prefer to use testosterone with orals. But at the time, I was also very stubborn, and wanted to do it that way, and that's what I did. So I've talked about the first cycle that I ever ran was Haladrol, pro hormone. Then I followed that up, and it was Anavar and Proviron. And I just had a miserable experience with Anavar then, and a lot of that is, in my view, is not using testosterone with it. But beyond that, it really seemed, and I wonder if it was either I was taking too much or it was overdosed than what it said that it was, and I think it's likely the latter, because I firmly remember in my head not going any higher than 60 milligrams, and that's a little heavy for Anavar, but it shouldn't cause so much lethargy, meaning that it was hitting my liver hard, and it showed that in blood work. And the one thing for me then was it just really negatively affected my cardio, which you guys that follow me know. I mean, that's the reason for my being in fitness, is the cardio aspect of things. So between the excruciating shin pumps and then lower back pumps, it was the worst experience. And the lethargy kicked in pretty early at week 3.5, 4. So you take all of that, piece it all together, and it was like, oh my gosh, I hate this. And then I decided, let's do it again. And that was the time that it was my first injectable. It was the next cycle. All right, so I'm going to do test, Masteron, and Anavar. And that's the time that I talked about when I thought I was getting Anavar and it was D-ball. And so what happened was, once I let the D-ball kind of run its course and get out of my system and all of that, I finished the cycle with Anavar, and once again, just didn't feel good. Now, you could say that was because there was too much toxicity going on, but there was the 4 weeks of the D-ball, break for 4 weeks, and then hit the Anavar on the tail end. Regardless, it was another bad experience. Same thing with the pumps and everything else. I gave it one more shot after that. Didn't really get much out of it. And I will say that Anavar is very commonly faked, but I had very, very reliable quality at the time. And so I couldn't attribute it to that. So I just gave it the worst. And one of the main reasons why is because Anavar stays very mainstream in headlines, and it's overhyped at times, and and when I say overhyped, it's because there's this belief that it is just going to miraculously just put you in the best condition, you're going to lose all the fat that you have, etc. That's just not how it works. But that conception is out there when it comes to Anavar, and it drove me crazy. And because I respond so well to Winstrol, I would always tell people just use Winstrol, but you got to take into the account that Winstrol is so much more harsh when you use it for a variety of reasons. The joint pain, I never had that with it, but I did get just the worst lethargy and taxation on my liver, and it can really be very problematic for cholesterol, and a lot more than certain other orals can. So these are all things to keep in mind with Winstrol. But anyway, so time goes, and I just don't know what got into me. Well, I take that back. The presence of the brand of Anavar that I wanted to use, which was not around, was supposedly around. So I said, okay, I'm going to try this fucker one more time because it's the brand that I've always wanted to try of it. So I one more shot. And I shit you not, it was one of the best experiences that I've ever had with anything. And all I did was run test in Anavar. And when I say test, it was my TRT dose of test, 125 milligrams. And it was one of the best experiences that I had had because it gave me exactly what I wanted at the time and more than I expected. Way more. And so to say that I was pleasantly surprised would be an understatement. And so for that reason alone, I was like, okay, I'm going to go make a video, and it's out there if you want to Google it, My Apology to Anavar. And I talk about my experience with it. But just everything that it did for me at the time, it was just, okay, so, all right, let's do it again. There's another few brands that are available I've always wanted to try of it. Let's do it. Second experience, fucking awesome. I had some pretty stressful situations with, me owning, we were opening a gym, and it was during COVID, and I lost a bunch of weight, which is never a good idea to use steroids to build it back, which I didn't, but I still was lacking and wanted another boost. And boy, did that, wow. That corrected a lot of problems fast, and in a good way, because it's not like rapid weight, and I didn't need to gain, and I wasn't trying to gain a bunch of weight by 80 beans, but man, did this thing, and it helped me get my strength back quicker in a good way, and I felt phenomenal, looked great. I love it. The problem for me is, and I used it again not too long ago, and I respond beautifully to it, but I swear to you, the older I get, the less and less I want to deal with any kind of side effects, and it hits me where it starts making me frequently go to the bathroom to the point where I start losing weight, like peeing nonstop, and the lethargy that kicks in on me, and it's just, and it's, the thing about the frequent urinating is it can cause that. You have to look into that. That was one of the things I dug into, and that is one of the things it can potentially cause, and for whatever the reason, it started doing that to me. And so it had me freaking out, thinking I had kidney problems, going to the doctor and all of that, and then it, I did some cleansing, and it corrected itself immediately. But it freaked me the fuck out, and things like that I don't want to deal with. Even with a lighter compound like Anavar, and the reason that people call it mild or lighter is because it's mild in comparison to like an Anadrol or a D-ball, but it's still not so mild. It's still got a ton of side effects that can harm you. So don't get it twisted there either. But overall, my experiences with Anavar have been like really bad to the worst of the worst to now it's my second favorite compound. And it's right there with the only reason that I have Primo Bullet ahead because it's that close is because I feel so good on Primo, and I hit a point with Anavar where I just don't, but I probably would get the better results with Anavar, but the way that I feel on Primo is priceless when it comes to this for me, because the way that I feel means everything on my performance and my just overall day-to-day. And so I like to feel great, or I just don't want to fuck with it anymore. But that's just my opinion. So anyway, that's it. That's my experiences with Anavar. Hope that you enjoyed that video. And that being said, stay tuned for plenty more to come. Dylan Gemelli, signing off.